Thank you, President Peter. So at the moment we are in the middle of school holidays, so a time where families can go away, spend quality time with each other. So I actually thought it would be quite interesting just to take stock and look at travel through the times. So to set the scene, I'm going to play a short 2-minute clip and then just some rapid fire questions.
Good morning, madam. Can I help you?
Are you the manager?
I am the owner, madam.
What?
I am the owner.
I want to speak to the manager.
I am the manager too.
What?
I am the manager as well.
You're what?
I'm the manager.
What?
I'm the manager.
Yes, I know. You just told me. What's the matter with you? I booked a room with a bath. When I book a room with a bath, I expect to get a bath.
You've got a bath.
I'm not paying £7.20 per night plus VAT for a room without a bath.
That is your bath.
You won't have a bath. Not big enough to drive a mouse.
Wish you were a mouse.
Have enough of it. I asked for a room with a view.
I'm blind. This is the view as far as I can remember, madam. Yes, this is it.
When I pay for a view, I expect something more interesting than that.
But that is Torquay, madam.
But it's not good enough.
May I ask what you were expecting to see out of a Torquay hotel bedroom window? Sydney Opera House, perhaps? Hanging gardens of Babylon? Herds of wildebeest sweeping majestically?
I expect to be able to see the sea.
You can see the sea. It's over there between the land and the sky.
I need a telescope to see that.
Well, may I suggest that you consider moving to a hotel closer to the sea? Or preferably in it.
Now, listen to me. I'm not satisfied, but I've decided to stay here. However, I should expect a reduction.
Why? Because Krakatoa's not erupting at the moment?
Because the room is cold. The bath's too small. The view is invisible, and the radio doesn't work.
No, the radio works. You go.
What?
Fix it, you scary old bastard. I think we got something there.
What?
I think we got something there.
What are you doing?
Everything be rude, but may I ask, do you by any chance have a hearing aid?
Oh, what?
A hearing aid!
Yes, I do have a hearing aid.
Would you like me to get it mended?
It's working perfectly all right.
No, it isn't.
I haven't got it turned off at the moment.
Why not?
Plenty of lights down. Now, what sort of reduction are you going to give me on this room?
Cool. So, if you're like me and when you need a bit of cheering up, you turn to Faulty Towers, feel free to put some money into the Sunshine Box. Very quickly, just to test, so how much did Mrs. Richards pay for the room? Correct. So today's term's about 13 bucks, right? So the average regional UK room, according to PwC, what would you take that to be today? It's actually 70. And interestingly, with the rise of the sharing economy, we look at Airbnb, and what would you perceive the average room to be on an Airbnb, according to Voucher Card research? 75. So, who has been a guest of Airbnb? Can we just have a raised hands? So, pretty much almost half. And who's actually used the other services that Airbnb provide? Anyone? No? And who has hosted on Airbnb? Anyone? Just several people? So for a bit of P2P platform context, across 191 countries, there's 4 million Airbnb listings. So that is the top 5 hotel chains having rooms is more than that. But what I find really interesting about Airbnb is how they generated their seed funding. Does anyone know how the founders actually generated their seed funding back in 2008?
Rotary grant.
So no, it wasn't crowdfunding, it wasn't a Rotary grant, and it wasn't angel or VC. What was it? Interestingly enough, they generated the seed funding for Airbnb during the 2008 US presidential election. And what they did was they sold breakfast cereal in collectible Obama boxes for $40 a pop. They were design students, but considering the company's now valued at $30 billion today, pretty creative. And just a couple of last quick questions. Over Airbnb's lifetime, how many guests have been in the yurts? So picking from the stats down the bottom. So yurt being the top round domed figure?
140,000.
Correct, 140,000. What about houses?
120.
Correct. And boat? 570,000. And tree houses? Who would want to stay in a tree house? It's just, it's awesome. And just lastly, which host demographic worldwide would you say is the fastest growing host sector?
60 plus.
45 to 59.
It is the 60 plus. It's the 60 plus. So senior hosts also continue to be the best reviewed hosts on Airbnb, getting a higher percentage of 5-star ratings than any other host demographic. And 120,000 of the 200,000 people hosting are 60 plus. So just be careful you don't get a Mrs. Richards. Thank you.
President, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for inviting us along today. It's very nice to be here again. I've been coming along for many years. In fact, this is the 13th year that the course has been running. And this group who are here today with me are the 24th intake of this program. So who would have thought all those years ago? And before I introduce the class members today, I'd first like to mention and thank all the people from the club who have helped the program in lots of different ways, as guest tutors, guest lecturers, mentors, and as members of the Vocational Service Committee. So, first of all, guest tutors. These people have been coming along every week to practice mock interviews, generally, mostly mock interviews, sometimes conversations skills, and many have been coming along since 2005, which is when we started. So that's Helen Auger, Sia Huiyang, Linda Carroll, Brian Hassel, Christine Hurley, Peter Lawson, Yui Mora, Joan Swift, and Tony White, who's Heather Hayden's husband. And guest lecturers who come along and talk about their specialties or their particular area of New Zealand life or New Zealand job search, which is very relevant to the class. So that's Helen Auger, again, Reese Barlow, Linda Carroll, Peter Lawson, Brian Lynch, Sir Anand Satyanand, Chris Garrett from Cullen Law, Jeff Shaw, and Lee Wilkinson. And once again, they've been coming along, many of them, since 2005. It's a wonderful, wonderful contribution. And the mentors, people who have agreed to accompany this group of graduates through the next step of their lives, which is job search, and who support them in this job search process. And you'll see again many names that have been here before. Marion Cowden, Michaela Draper, Daegu Gedebo, who is just lovely to see you here today, Daegu. As Derek said, Daegu is a graduate of this program, I think probably 2013, and now is back in the role of mentor. Derek Gill, Barbara Lewis, Lynn McKenzie, Andrew Miller, Murray Milner, and Joseph Mora. And I know that many mentors from the past are still in touch with their proteges from many years ago. And members of the Vocational Service Committee, thank you very much to all the people on the committee who coordinate the club's support of this program. Andrew Miller, the chair, Leanna Dey, Derek Gill, the mentor coordinator, who does a huge job getting all the arrangements set up, and the Johnson Group also, who is the company that sources internships for this program, a very vital role. And now let me introduce the members of the class who are here today, and they'll stand up when I call their name. And this is, first of all, Emmanuel Behane from Eritrea. Emmanuel has a background in project evaluation and research, and he's just finished his internship at Allen & Clark, the research company. And Purabha Chatterjee from India. Purabha is an environmental scientist with about 10 years of experience working in the biodiversity area, and she just finished her internship at the Ministry for the Environment. And Dede Gunawan from Indonesia, with a background in research and data management and policy. And she's just finished her internship at the Department of Internal Affairs and has a short contract emerging from that. Yashashwini, we just call him Yashashwini, Yash for short because it's much easier. Yash Kamate from India, who has many years' experience as a software tester and developer, and she's just finished working at Housing New Zealand. Karolina Olzvecki from Hungary, who is a solicitor and now moving into the area of project management. She's not here today because she's returned to Hungary briefly for family reasons. She finished an internship at the Ministry of Education. Rose Miwati from Indonesia, an accountant with about 20 years experience working and some of that for one of the big 5 companies in Indonesia. And she's just finished an internship at CAANZ, I don't know how you say it as one word.
Chartered accountants.
Oh, right. Okay, thank you.
Very popular.
And May Tagok Magtoto from the Philippines, who has had many years working as a pharmacist and a university lecturer and a researcher, and she's just finished her internship at MedSafe. And Lana Tinkul from Moldova, who is a lawyer, but also has experience in HR and marketing, and has finished an internship at NEC. Charles Wong from Hong Kong. Charles is a software engineer. His internship is still continuing at University, Victoria University, is one of their startup companies called Dreamflux. And Azfar Sohail from Pakistan has many years of experience in project finance and account management, and did his internship at Team Talk, and he'll tell you the good news coming from that when he gets to speak in a few minutes. There were 2 more people in the class who found work halfway through the program, so they're not here. So they both have found work. That's Jimmy Susanto and Pavel Zamyatin from Indonesia and Russia, respectively. So their news is very good. Just moving on quickly because I only have 7 minutes. And that is the outcomes for the graduates. Generally, the outcomes remain very strong, and 254 since we began in 2005. If we count the current group, that's 266. And once again, the stats are the same, really. Getting closer to the 80%, even 85% in employment for some particular groups. In fact, a group this time last year, 100% are in employment. Ongoing funding, always an issue for us. We've got funding until June next year, and we expect to apply for further funding through MB's new procurement processes next year, and we will work with the MB contract managers on this very soon. So thank you, everybody. I'm very grateful for your help. I know I couldn't run this program without the support of the club and so many club members who are involved. Sometimes, every now and then I count up, there are over 100 members of this club have been involved since we began in 2005. So thank you very much. Again, we are all very grateful. Skilled Migrants are very grateful too. And now, can I introduce Azfar Sohail? He's a member of the current class, and he's going to talk to you and give a 5-minute talk on the highlights of his career, mainly in Saudi Arabia and now in New Zealand.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for, I would like to thank Nicky for giving me this chance of speaking about myself and my country where I come from. This will be some of the information I'll be giving you. I'll time myself because it's strictly 5 minutes. I will talk about my country, where I lived, and my career history, my reflection of my life in New Zealand so far, Skilled Migrant Programme, and my internship. I am basically from Pakistan. I was born in Lahore, but I lived here only for 5 years. Then my parents moved to Saudi Arabia. I lived there for 36 years, which was until this year. And I moved to New Zealand, Wellington, which is just 5 months back. In Pakistan, if somebody doesn't know where Pakistan is a country which is neighbored with India, China, Afghanistan, and Iran. Lahore is the city where I was born. Then these are some monuments from Lahore. This is called the Minar-e-Pakistan. This is the Badshahi Mosque built by one of the Mughal emperors in 1671. We are fond of cricket. Maybe you know that we have won the ICC championship this year, beating India, which was a great thing for us. Purva, sorry. If you know Imran Khan, he is also from Pakistan. I would say that one of the most handsome cricketers so far from South Asia. Moving to Saudi Arabia, I lived in Riyadh for all my life. This is the capital city, the two most famous skyscrapers of Riyadh. Everybody knows that Makkah is one of the Islamic capital of the Islamic capital of the Muslim world, which is also in Saudi Arabia. Medina is the city of the Prophet Muhammad. It's also in Saudi Arabia. Moving to my career history, I joined Siemens in year 2000 as a design engineer. Stayed there until 2006. Then I moved to Nokia as account manager. Stayed there about 1 year. Then I moved to Huawei, and in Huawei I started my career as a project manager. I did several projects, and within about 9 years, I also did my project financial controlling in Huawei. From that, I moved to New Zealand. So far, the experience in New Zealand is extremely good, but it really was a bumpy start. Before coming here, I had an accident and I broke my Achilles tendon. I got a surgery in Saudi Arabia. Moved here in April, but I also got again the tendon was broken, and I was on this scooty. Some of them you have seen me on this scooty, but now I'm doing fine. I'm started walking. But not everything was bad. We got some good news. I got a new baby in June. He was our third one. We named him Yusuf. So maybe we will be in the future calling him UV also. UV is not here. Also, I joined the Skilled Migrant Programme, which was excellent, and that is the reason I'm standing here in front of you. I started my internship in Team Talk. First of all, regarding the program. We attained a lot of good skills from this program, like the email etiquettes, the culture of New Zealand and the Maori culture, the importance of the small talk, the using of the I was wondering in every email and every starting of the talk, which is new for us. And some weekly mock interviews were excellent for us to understand how interviews are done here. And there are much more things which we attained in this course. Internship, I did internship in Team Talk. Mark is here from Team Talk. He is the HR director. My internship was regarding redesigning of this existing network, creating some designs in Visio, preparing scope of works for the customer and the contractor, participating in the management meetings, and coordinating with the supplier. Recently, just on the last day of my internship, I was given a fixed term contract. Today is my first day in Team Talk as a full-time employee. So I thank Team Talk for believing in my skills and giving me the chance to prove them in the coming months. On behalf of my class, I just want to, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to the Rotary Club, Victoria University and Johnson Group in general, and Nikki, Angela and Judy in particular, for believing in us, for being with us in this journey, finding ourselves in New Zealand, and helping us searching for these jobs and careers where we would be contributing to New Zealand with our skills and experiences. Last but not the least, I personally also would like to thank the Team Talk Group management and my PMO colleagues who believed in me and gave me the opportunity to further prove my skills and abilities by converting my internship to an employment contract. So I would like all my classmates to stand up to give applause to the Rotary Club members for giving us this opportunity. Thank you, guys.